Pool's show.
Use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking about.
It is them, though, isn't it? I mean, because
No.
because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving?
Are you afraid of the press?
He's gone. I'll say it right now. You guys want to bring that stuff up? And then
Have
think
the
we're not going
discussion.
to have a
Like,
conversation?
have the discussion.
Like you think he's going to come in here and say, here's my pain, here's my suffering. I'm going to say, I hear you. And then he's going to say, and it was Jewish people. And I'm going to be like, okay, but don't you consider, it's like, I'm not going to do this. I refuse.
Make sure he's cool.
All right, go for it. Luke and I don't use the word as the way
I'm
I guess
gonna go make sure he's cool, cause you know, it's all I got right now.
It's like I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK because as I'm getting hosed down every day.
Oh my God, bro, you are neither, my friend. You are neither. Ye is gone and Jesus no longer walks with him. Whatever. I mean, this man has called himself a god. He has called himself Jesus. He has proclaimed he is mightier and holier than thou. And then he compares himself, the gall to compare himself to Martin Luther King.
It's like I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK
No,
because
you're
as
not.
I'm getting hosed down every day by the press and financially, I'm just standing there. And when I found out that they tried to put me in jail, it was like a dog was biting my
Tried to put you
arm,
in jail,
and
man.
I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked in stride through it. Yeah.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you. I think.
Who was they though? We can't say who they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking
It is
about
them, though, isn't it? I mean, because
No.
because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving?
Are you afraid of the press?
He's gone. I'll say it right now.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, God, this is adorable. This is adorable, man. Solo, you're right. I went on a TikTok live with Good Trouble a few weeks ago, and I said the same damn thing. I said, I can't believe, but this is the power of Chicago rapper guy, that he'll actually make me have sympathy for Piers Morgan, who I can't stand. I can't stand Piers Morgan. He stormed out of this show because Tim Pool, who is a grifting, psychotic douche, would not agree with him that Jews control the media, which they don't. You know, the problem is, and I've agreed with this sentiment, but Kanye has been so anti-black for a while now. When he said slavery was a choice, that was messed up. He should have suffered more consequences. The problem is there were too many people that were making too good of a living. And that, in my opinion, because Van Jones said it, the guy who called out Ye at the TMZ studios, he said TMZ actually hid that Kanye said he likes Hitler and believes in Hitler and some of the stuff the Nazis did. They edited it out, which leads me to believe, although it would sell immediately, it would also be the demise of this man as we're seeing it right now. We are literally watching it unfold before our very eyes. I don't know what his plays are, but I will tell you this. They weren't as high as before he basically said how much of an anti-Semite he is. Creative directors are like, look at who he's hanging out with, man. Anna and Jenk played it on the show. If you don't know who Nick Fuentes is. How I view all of this is he is so lost in the sauce on Jewish people that if you don't agree with him, you're done. I swear. And if I hear Kanye talk about cancel culture, bro, he just canceled his own appearance. You can't say they. We know who you're talking about, dude. We're not stupid. Watching this man unfold before our very eyes has been sad because I supported the shit out of him my whole life. I got off the bandwagon so hard that I told Spotify not to play any of his songs. I didn't listen to any of his albums. I have not listened to any of his music since then. It was the slavery is a choice, and then it was also him going to the White House in a MAGA hat. That was it for me. Remember Hurricane Katrina relief with Mike Myers and Kanye? He said Bush doesn't care about black people. Yeah, where'd that guy go? In my view, all I see is how can he stump for Trump harder? And what he said about Harriet Tubman. How could we forget? The fact that he walked out of an interview, people who align with him on probably 97% of things, but they wouldn't agree on one thing. And he storms out. Just flat out remarkable, guys. Reporter for the New York Times. Kanye said the IRS has put a $75 million hold on 4 of his accounts because he owes $50 million in taxes. Well, first off, pay your taxes. Let's go back to that comment. He said George Bush doesn't care about black people. And look at who he's with on this podcast. If you were to be in a coma right after that fundraiser for Hurricane Katrina relief, and you woke up and I explained to you what was happening in these 4 slides, what would you say? Yeah, he's hanging out with Nazis now. He's hanging out with people who actually hate him. Like, all of this with Kanye actually reminds me of when he went on TMZ with Candace Owens and then he kept promoting Candace Owens. That's all Nick Fuentes is doing, except he's more dangerous because he believes it. Candace Owens is willingly allowing herself to be used as a pawn to say, well, I have racial bias against black people because, well, my lone black friend said it, Candace Owens. And also, if you look at her past with the NAACP, you know, she says racism doesn't exist. There's never been a racist country. Meanwhile, she was involved in a court case where she was racially abused, sought help from the NAACP, and got a bag.
But the thing is, when I said my children, the reason why my brain kind of blocked, because it's like God is saying, you know, your children are going to be okay. Baby mama's got money, right? God is using me. He's breaking me down, removing all of the.
Let me stop. Let's go back to somebody real quick. So Herschel Walker, right, is in a runoff with Raphael Warnock. If you're in Georgia, please vote. There's a stanza in the Daily Beast article about how he paid for abortions, and they have proof of him paying for abortions. And the woman who was pressured into having an abortion and got an abortion, but then later had a child with Herschel Walker, even though he pressured her against it, said he was never a religious person. He just uses it in certain situations. That's what I see here. This whole God is putting me in this situation, so I can learn and strive to be better and thrive, and he's testing me. No, mother, you're putting yourself in this position. That is not the Holy Spirit. That is you. That is you doing this to yourself.
Removing all of the, richest person, all of this, so I can serve him. And the more and more those things are taken away from me, the more I can be empty and be a vessel and be able to be used. And right now, it's like, you're not going to take, if we can't, you're not going to take my pain away, right? The Jewish people say, it's the Holocaust, this happened, and you can't say anything about it. We can't take their pain away. No one's going to denounce the fact that they tried to lock me up. That's what, because every time I'm just holding stride, and it's like, I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK, because as I'm getting hosed down every day by the press and financially, I'm just standing there. And when I found out that they tried to put me in jail, it was like a dog was biting my arm, and I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked in stride through it. Yeah.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they though? We can't say who they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking about.
It is them though, isn't it? I mean, because
no.
Like here they are trying so hard to reel pull into saying something anti-Semitic to essentially prove his worth. I think we should be clear about that too. And as POW Nobody says, we found the one line Tim won't cross. What I like about this tweet from Viva is it's accurate. If Kanye thinks they were exploiting him, just wait until he realizes about the 2 he's hanging with. Said that like 5 minutes ago because it's true. Candace Owens used him. Donald Trump used him. Tucker Carlson used him. All these people are using him. I am curious what the fallout is now because it's clear they're doing the media car wash and they are trying to get as much support for themselves as possible with this like little trio they have. But like Kanye keeps up. Like when that stuff leaked with the Tucker interview, that was brutal. Or the Fuentes stuff, and people look up what he said. Like, you're going against the things that you're supposed to be for. People see through it.